Live sphagnum moss is the best moss for carnivorous plants and Nepenthes. But if you want to grow it in your house, there is things that you need to know. Because the live moss that you will buy could easily die or mold. But in this video, I will show you how I grow my live sphagnum home, and I will share with you what worked and what didn't. So coming up. Hi, if you are new to this channel, my name is Remy and my passion is to grow Nepenthes on a windowsill. I've been growing carnivorous plants since I'm 16 and I really focused on Nepenthes since I moved to Canada. So I will show you how I grow my live sphagnum in my house with my settings, but keep in mind that there is a variety of ways to grow live sphagnum. So don't hesitate to share in the comments how you grow your live sphagnum home. And make sure you stick until the end because I will show you how I propagate this live sphagnum. At the beginning, I just bought something like 30 grams and now I'm able to fill all my pots with live sphagnum. And I even sell some on eBay. So there is ways to propagate and that's gonna be for the end of this video.
Live sphagnum can be finicky. I tried to grow it many times and it took me a while to understand why my live sphagnum was dying, or at least not growing properly. At first, I tried with a clear plastic pot, a box that you can have on the grocery shopping. I just put the live sphagnum in it, a little bit of water, and that's it. It never really grew. So I decided to do another test, also with a plastic box, but using a small layer of peat moss under it. It was still not great. This time the sphagnum was not dying, but that was not great. I also lately tried to put the live sphagnum directly into a fish tank, empty fish tank for sure, and putting a layer of water under it. That's still not the best way to do it. It's not growing properly. I don't know why. That's really weird. There is two ways where I've been successfully growing this live sphagnum, so I will show you now. The first way that works is to put the live sphagnum on the top of dead sphagnum, and it's working quite good, and that's exactly what I use to repot my plants, dead sphagnum plus perlite, so that's perfect. But to use a live sphagnum as a topping, you will have to spray it. I know it's not mandatory for Nepenthes, but you will have to spray 3 times a day at least if you want your live sphagnum to keep moist enough to not get white and die. By the way, on the windowsill, the live sphagnum will grow way faster and better when it's warm outside, so just keep in mind. The second way that worked for me is to grow it on my basement in a mini greenhouse under a grow light. But even with that, there is few ways to do it. The best success I got was to put not the live sphagnum directly on the bottom of the tray, but to put a layer of window screen. Why? Well, because I believe live sphagnum don't like to be submerged. So the live sphagnum that was directly into the trench was submerged 24/7 and was dying. And again, live sphagnum was growing on the top of this freshly dead sphagnum. So it kind of worked. So now I will show you how I propagate my live sphagnum.
But before I show you how I propagate my sphagnum, I would like to ask you a favor. Could you please like this video and consider subscribing, hitting the little bell? That's the best way for you to see more and more videos like that, and it also helped me to build this channel. So now let's talk about how I propagate my live sphagnum.
Okay, first, when live sphagnum is happy, it will grow. And believe me or not, you will have too much and you will have to take care of it because it will overgrown some of the plants, especially the small one. So here you see there is a lot of sphagnum. It's starting to pop between the leaves. And soon it will be so big it will cover the leaves, just as this one. This one, it's really overdue. There is a lot of sphagnum. Some of the older leaves are totally hidden, buried under this magnifique nice sphagnum. But I would have to cut it, even if it's beautiful like that. You want the plants to get some light, right? And quickly, all the sphagnum will grow faster than the seedling. So here we see that it's higher, But even from the top, you will see that it's starting to shade. It's higher, so it gets the light first, and the seedling gets the leftover. Even quite bigger plants will be buried. See how this thick sphagnum hide the leaves? So we'll have to take care of it. And sometime when you grow like sphagnum, you'll have some surprise. A mushroom. Before starting, prep the tray. Use a screen. I use an old one. There is some perlite, but it's okay. So you put the screen and then you will put the water. Put the water until it's at the level of the screen. So now we will cut the sphagnum. Use small scissors around the small seedling. And I would speed up this video because that takes quite some time, especially when you want to avoid cutting small pitchers or even worst, like cutting basil shoots by accident because it was totally buried under sphagnum and you didn't saw what was under it. So believe me, it's painful when you see that you cut basil shoots and it don't recover. That's bad. So now when we have bigger plants, you can use regular scissor. Again, take care, check if there is no basil shoot. I don't know for you, but for me, it's funnier than mowing the lawn. Okay, it's done. So now nothing really shade the leaves. Everything is good. The small plants and the biggest plants are perfectly fine. As you see, usually I grow sphagnum between the pots. Don't hesitate to move your pots because there is plenty of moss that will be hiding behind the pots. When you buy sphagnum by eBay or online, sometimes you will have some surprise. As you see here, there is some leaves. This is Utricularia longifolia. That's really a nice plant. It's a carnivorous, etc. But you will have to take care because that's spread. If when you take some sphagnum, you don't take care, you will take some roots, and from that the plant will grow back, and it will end up in every pot. So really, even this moss that looks totally fine, if we take a better look, I will try to find. Oh, found it. Here is a root. So you see the small carnivorous bag, and that's a root of this utricularia. So that's definitely something you don't want to spread. You can use this sphagnum. You have to just take the really head of the sphagnum. Don't cut too deep and really check what you do. Okay, so once you have all your live sphagnum, you really need just to put that on the tray. If you can put the head up, that's better. If not, it will still work. Just gently press the sphagnum against the screen so it gets into contact with the water, and that's it. So now I will speed up this video. So try to have the most cover. If it's really a tall head of sphagnum, you want to put that lay down on this screen. And if you have a pot, keep in mind you don't want the pot to sit totally into water. And all the pots really, you will just harvest your new sphagnum, and that's it. Compared to what I had before, now it's almost a full tray. As this moss come from various growers, there is different color because there is not one single species of sphagnum. There is plenty. I hope it will help people to grow sphagnum because that's clearly something that I feel is part of the carnivorous plant hobby.
That's definitely a good looking moss. It's really helping you to spot if the pot is too dry, the live sphagnum will die. So that's a good sensor to make sure your pot have enough moisture in it. So that's definitely something I recommend. Until next time, happy growing!